Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about load balancer. Here we are going to learn what is load balancer and where we are going to use this load balancer. Everything we are going to discuss in detail in this video. First of all, we just need to understand what is load balancer. In the name itself suggests the load balancer is used to distribute the load among the backend servers. Why it is required? So if I have an application and I'm going to allow the traffic to my application, and whatever the application which comes to the load balancer, it is going to distribute the traffic among the backend servers. And when the scaling is required, suppose the traffic to my application has been suddenly increased or decreased. So based on the requirement, the load balancer is going to increase the count of the backend servers, that may be increased or that may be decreased based on the traffic. And it is going to provide the security, means it is going to secure our application by providing features like SSL and TLS certificate and access control and encryption. So because of these features offered by the load balancer, we are going to use this load balancer as a front end for our application. Like, what is the architecture? So if you want to understand about the architecture, just move the next slide. Here it is slide. So suppose if any user wants to access my application, he will be, suppose my application is Paytm. So right now my application is Paytm. For example, assume like that. Suppose if any user type www.paytm.com, it is going to trigger my load balancer. And from my load balancer, it is checking the listener rule. Listener rule is nothing but if I have the n number of services for my application, so the user is looking for which service. Like if you are looking for the IRCTC service or train tickets, it is going to route your traffic to the particular target group. Suppose if you are looking for the recharge service, then your request will be redirected towards the particular target group based on the requirement, based on the user wish. It is going to move to the particular target group. So this is about the listener rule. And what do you mean by target? Target is nothing but EC2 server. It is the backend server which is running in order to run the service. So based on the request type, based on the user request type, the listener rule will understand, oh, the user is looking for this kind of services. Okay, where this service is running. So it is going to check. So based on the listener rule, it is going to divert the traffic to the concerned target group. Here the target is nothing but EC2 server. Fine. So in AWS, how this will be implemented? Just please have a look on it. Right now I am in the AWS console page. So this is the default page. Just go to EC2 service. There we have each and everything related to the load balancing, because of the load balancing is the front end for the EC2 servers. And backend of the load balancer, what we have? EC2 servers only. So right now in the load balancing option, we have the two things, load balancer and target group. So first of all, we just need to understand how many load balancers are there in AWS. Just click on create load balancer. Here you have three types of load balancers are available in AWS. So based on your requirement, you are going to select that particular load balancer. For suppose, in which scenario you are going to use the application load balancer, like when you need some flexible feature to set for your application with HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Means if I want to allow my application traffic through HTTP and HTTPS and it is operating at the layer 7, like application layer, I am going to select the application load balancer. And the scenario where I am going to use the network load balancer is if I have the high transactional web application and I want the users want to access my application with ultra low latencies, and it is going to handle millions of requests. At that scenario, I want to use the network load balancer. Here coming to the gateway load balancer, it is a kind of load balancer that allows you to deploy and manage the fleet of third-party virtual appliances like support Genev. These applications enable you to improve security, compliance, and policy controls. Generally, we are using the application load balancer because of we have that much traffic is not there. Suppose if you have heavy traffic and high transactional website or web application and it needs ultra low latency, then only you are going to use the network load balancer, and it is somewhat little bit costly than application load balancer. But most of the applications are running over the application load balancer only. So let us understand in detail. Just get back to the EC2 service. And so before creating the load balancer, what I am going to do here, let us take a scenario. So in this scenario, I am going to done, first of all, I am going to create a target group. Okay. So under the target group, target is nothing but EC2 service. First of all, I need to create the EC2 server. Once the EC2 server has been created, I am going to create the target group. Target group is nothing but a group of targets, group of EC2 servers. So for that reason, I am going to create the two EC2 servers. Each is in the separate availability zone because of the load balancer is at regional level, not at available zone level. Means if I create the load balancer, I can be able to distribute the traffic across the available zones. Not it is at the regional level because of it can be able to drive the traffic across the multiple available zones which are available in that particular region. So that's why I'm going to create the target group. So that's why I'm going to create the EC2 server in two different available zones because of the load balancer can be able to route the traffic between different available zones because of that reason. And I'm going to create the listener rule. And finally, I'm going to create the load balancer. What happened whenever any user try to access my application? First of all, he need to hit the load balancer. Then after he need to trigger to the listener rule. Then after that, based on the rule, he need to trigger to the target group. So each and everything I'm going to show to you in a practical manner. So quickly I'm going to create two EC2 servers and just click on launch instance. And here one. And I am going to use Amazon Linux 2 because of it is free tier eligible. And as usual, I'm going to use T2 Micro because of it is free tier eligible. I'm going to use Key1 as I had already downloaded on my desktop. And I'm going to select the existing security group. All traffic means it is going to allow all the traffic. Like, okay. And which available zone I'm going to create? So right now I just want to create in the which availability zone. So here I am going to create in the 1A availability zone. Fine. Launch instance. So it is going to launch the EC2 instance in the availability zone 1A. At the same time, I am going to launch one more EC2 instance 2 in which region? I am going to launch in the availability zone 1B because of the load balancer is at regional level. It's not at availability zone level. And as usual, I'm going to select the T2 Micro and the key pair is Key1, which I had already on my desktop, and select existing security group, that is allow all traffic, and just click here edit and subnet. I am going to select the 1B. So right now the mission 2 will be created in the availability zone B 1B. So quickly click on launch instance. Then right now I am going to create the two EC2 servers, one EC2 server in the 1A availability zone and another EC2 server in the 1B availability zone. Just go to instance and right now just refresh it. Then you will be able to see the two instances. So here I am going to connect with the help of the mobile XTerm. So this is a SH client, mobile XTerm. Just you can use the putty as well. So it's your option. There is no mandate rule to use the mobile XTerm. Based on your usage scenario, you can select whatever you want. Either you can use putty or you can directly connect from the Amazon console port, everything. So right now, where is my key pair? Desktop key pair. Right now, okay. So how I will be able to connect? And just click here, connect SH client, just copy the same thing and okay, paste here, enter. Then I'm going to connect to the another server as well. CD desktop by key pair. So right now I'm in the key pair. So I just want to connect to the instance 1B. So just click on here, click on connect, copy here and paste here, enter. Okay. Yes. Here also. Yes. The first tab is one server and the second tab is two server. Okay. So if you want to multi-execution mode, then it's okay. Then okay. So right now I'm going to log on into those two missions at a time. Sudo -i in order to log on as a root user. So right now I just log on into the two missions as a root user. So once I had made successful login, what I need to install? I need to install the HTTP service. It is the web server. Before that I'm going to update update -y. It is going to update all the required packages or recent packages. Right now there is no recent packages are available in order to update the mission. So I'm going to install httpd-y. Just press enter. It is going to install the HTTPD service on your mission. If you want to check whether it has been, once you have installed the thing, systemctl start httpd, you just need to start the service. Once it has been started, you need to check the status whether it is in the running state or not. Status, yes. In both the missions I had been successfully installed the httpd service, and right now the http service is running in both the servers. Fine. Just exit multi execution mode. So just log on into the one app and cd var www html, enter. So right now you are in the HTML. Just enter ll. You don't have any nothing. So I'm going to create vi index.html, enter. I'm going to mention I so h1 okay. So this is one server and okay, fine. This is one server, means this is the first server. Press escape, semicolon. Okay. So right now if you want to check the same, cat index.html. Okay, this is one server, and in the similar way I'm going to cd var www html. This is the place where we can be able to put the front end file. So right now I'm in the HTML folder. Just press ll. There is nothing. So create vi index.html, enter, and press I in order to enter into the insert mode. h2, this is to server, space h2, enter. Okay, escape, semicolon wq. So this is one first of all, this is one server and this is second server. If you want to check is that working as individual web servers or not, just go to instances, just check. For first server, click here, and what is the public IP? This is the public IP. And if you copy here, what it is going to display? It is going to display as this is one server. Is it displaying or not? Yes. And if you click here public IP and just open the additional tab, and it is going to show this is two server. It is not yet deployed fully. Just wait for a moment. It will be replicated soon. Because of just now I had made it now. So that's why it is taking time. But surely it will show now to you. Just a moment. I'm going to show to you. In the meanwhile, what we will do. So right now I have the two EC2 servers and the HTTP service already installed, and it is in the currently running state, and one EC2 server in the 1A availability zone and one EC2 server is in the 1B availability zone. Okay, and right now I am going to create the target group. So the target is ready. The EC2 service has been successfully created. I need to create the target group. Target group is nothing but group of targets, group of EC2 servers. Just click on create target group. Here, what is my target? EC2 instances. Suppose if you are using the network load balancer, the target may be IP addresses. The target may be Lambda function. That may be application load balancer, whatever it may be. So right now my target is EC2 instances. That's why I am going to select instances, and the target group name is TG_1. I am going to mention this target group name 1. And as usual, it is going to allow the HTTP traffic, and the port number of HTTP is 80. And as usual, I am going to select the IPv4 address, and here I am going to select the default VPC because of as I don't have created the custom VPC network. So that's why with the help of default VPC, I am going to continue and leave as it is. And HTTP health check also, it is going to connect with the help of the HTTP protocol only. So optional, just click on next. That it is not accepting. Just make TG1, target group 1. Click on next. Just make sure what the EC2 instance you want. So right now it is going to display all the available instances. Here, as I have only 2 instances in my account, so that's why it is going to reflect the 2 instances. I am going to select the 2. Just click on include as pending below, and these 2 EC2 servers has been added to the target group, and click create target group. The target group will be created. So once the target is ready, the target group is ready. Then what I need to create? The load balancer. Just click on load balancer, click on create load balancer, and click on application load balancer. Here for lab purpose, we are going to take application load balancer. Click on create. So the load balancer name is LB1, load balancer 1, and it is going to internet facing. So generally we have the 2 types of load balancers that there. The first one is public load balancer, and the second one is internal load balancer. In the name itself suggests the public load balancer is used to distribute the public traffic over the servers which are connected to the load balancer. Means it can be able to face the public internet. Here in the similar way, internal load balancer is used to distribute the traffic among the internal servers. Okay, it is not going to expose to the public internet. This is the basic difference between the public load balancer, means internal load balancer. And as usual, I am going to use the IPv4 because of here I have only IPv4. And as I already told to you, the load balancer is at regional level. In this region, in this US region, how many availability zones I have? I have 6 availability zones. But right now, I had created my EC2 servers in the availability zone 1A and availability zone 1B. Fine. That's why I am going to select these 2 only. Otherwise, if you have the EC2 servers in this regions as well, 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F, you can select accordingly. So it's purely based on your requirement. And security group. So here I am going to select the security group, allow all traffic. It is going to allow all the traffic. Otherwise, you can create the security group for the load balancer as well, based on your requirement. Generally, what we are going to allow, as we are going to allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic from anywhere. Fine. So as usual, I'm going to use the HTTP and the target group. So whenever any request received with the help of HTTP port, the load balancer will listen that request and it is going to forward to that which target group, the TG1, the target group which I had created. Suppose if you have the multiple target groups, you can add here listener groups. Based on the user request, it is going to allocate to that particular target group. Right now, I have only one target group. So that's why I am going to select whatever the traffic which we received to this load balancer, it is going to forward the traffic to this target group, right? Target 1, TG1. So, and here, if you want to use the web application firewall in order to protect your resources, you can use the web application firewall. It's based on purely based on your requirement, and here this everything is optional. Suppose if you want to make your environment more secure, then you can use this cloud features, but it will be little bit costlier. Whatever the services you are going to use, that will be little bit costlier. It is going to use to avoid the unwanted traffic. It is going to secure your environment. It is avoiding fake traffic. It is filtering. So because of the additional features, if most of the organizations are prefer security only. So if the company is liable to pay the amount, then they are going to opt these services in order to protect their environment. So just click on everything we had done. So just click on create load balancer. Then the load balancer will be created soon. So once the load balancer has been created, just please have a look on it. The status is provisioning. In the meanwhile, we can check it has been available or not. So it should need to be allowed. Just a moment. So here go to EC2 instances. So this is the instance now. So just copy it, and here I'm going to create the new Indigo tab. So here I'm going to check. Maybe sometimes due to browser issues also it is not going to reflect. So continue to site. No worries. Yes, this is 2 server, means the currently the server 2 is also running. Fine. So done. So as usual the server 1 is running. Fine, close it. So just click here over the load balancer. So right now I have the load balancer. The name of the load balancer is LB1. Still it is in the provisioning state. Once the state of the load balancer has been changed, then check with, and here the load balancer has a resolvable DNS norm. Means here what happened, suppose right now this is for lab purpose, so that's why there is no DNS has been involved. But right now for coming to your organizations, your organization holds some kind of DNS name, like they have the individual domain as a. So whoever is trying to access your application by using the domain name, first of all it is going to reach out to the DNS service provider. From DNS service provider, it is going to redirect to the load balancer. We just need to maintain the records. So based on the records, it is going to traffic whoever is looking to access the domain. It is going to divert that particular traffic to the load balancer. From the load balancer, the traffic will be redirected to the target group based on the listener rule. So based on the user search. So for which the user is want to look, for that only it will be redirected. Just a moment, you just need to wait for some time until it has been successfully deployed. So this is the A record. So this is the DNS name, which is public resolvable name. Here, then with the help of the DNS link, you can be able to access your application. So once it has been successfully deployed, then only you will be able to access. Just click on load balancer. I think still it is in the provisioning state. Sometimes it is going to take some time in order to establish or deploy successfully. So right now the state of the load balancer is active. Just type refresh. Otherwise just copy here. I am going to open the new Indigo tab. Fine, paste here. So as you know, backend of this load balancer, how many servers we have? 2 EC2 servers. One server is in the one availability zone and another server is in the 1B availability zone. So what is the purpose of load balancer? It is going to distribute the load across the backend servers. How many backend servers we have? 2 servers. Means between these 2 servers, the load balancer is going to distribute the traffic. So if I go into request once, it is going to, first of all, it is allocating the traffic to one server. Then after that, if I again request, it is going to redirect the traffic to the 2 server by using the round robin method. This is called the round robin method. Still I am not able to access because of it is not yet fully deployed. It will take some time. So just a moment. I am going to refresh it. So just okay, availability zones, okay. So here just click here and okay. It need to be read to the first server. So initially, suppose it is not yet loaded. So just a moment. Yes, you need to wait for some time. Surely it will be replicated. So it is sometimes it is taking time, but surely this is the process in the real time as well they are going to use. Okay, so here as usual I am going to copy the DNS name and here otherwise I can use the new Indigo tab as well. So just please have a look at it. Continue. Yes. So right now it is going to redirect the traffic to the 2 server. If I refresh it again, it is going to redirect the traffic to the 1 server. Yes, right now 1 server now because of, so this is the nature of the load balancer. Every time it is not going to distribute the load to the single server. It is going to distribute the load among the 2 servers. Not only 2 servers, how many servers you have, it is going to distribute the traffic among that many servers. This is the beautiness among the load balancer. So in this way, suppose if your if your traffic to your application has been increased, at the time what you will do, you simply need to add the another server in the target group. So whatever the requirement you have, you can be able to increase the servers count on manually. Suppose instead of doing manually, if you want to do with the help of automation, here for that purpose we have the auto scaling groups. So in auto scaling groups, we are going to mention each and everything, which server is required and which means image of the server and how many minimum, how many maximum, how many. So under which scenario it is going to increase the servers, under which scenario it is going to decrease servers, everything we are going to mention in the auto scaling groups based on the rules which we had defined in the auto scaling. It is going to increase or decrease the servers based on the demand or traffic. So this is all about load balancer. And friends, do not forget to delete the resources once you had done with the lab, because of if you forget to delete your resources once the lab is done, it makes a huge charges on you. So in order to avoid that, make sure you just need to delete all the resources once we had done with the lab. This is my humble request. Otherwise you will face some consequences, like you need to pay additional amount to the Amazon. The first time, second time they will be by sending the mails, by raising a ticket to the AWS, they will provide some excuse for one time or 2 time. Otherwise from third time onwards they are not supposed to excuse. We need to pay the bill, otherwise it will be auto debited from your credit card. So make sure you just need to clear all the resources once your lab activity has been successfully completed. Okay, this is all about load balancer. Hope you guys understand my session and enjoyed my session, and do not forget to subscribe my channel and please share with your friends as well. And thank you so much guys for your support, and I will meet up you in the next session with a new topic. Until signing off, thank you, bye bye.